JamesAllen.com is the online destination to easily design a customized engagement ring and save up to 50% compared to traditional stores. You pick a diamond, whether it's lab-created or earth-created, James Allen has over 200,000 conflict-free stones. Then you pick your ring setting and metal. And if you need some help, they have real-time diamond consultations available, where an expert can walk you through it all. Get 25% off your order at JamesAllen.com code podcast. That's JamesAllen.com code podcast.
Welcome to the PowerCat Podcast, GoPowerCat.com's Kansas State Athletics Show. Make sure you're subscribing to our show at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, from the GPC studios, here's your host, GoPowerCat publisher, Tim Fitzgerald.
It's the overtime. It's Friday. I've had a little fun here. I've added in some stuff.
Coachella sucks this year.
I thought I did a better job last week. I thought I was more focused on the task. Cole seemed to like last week's. Was it because I added in a bunch of your music?
I think it was the Rick Ross grunts that did it for me.
You know what was amazing is you guys, when you were impersonating Rick Ross with your grunts, were really close to the actual thing when I dropped it in.
Oh, that was really bad.
That was really bad.
There we go. Nothing like a solid grunt to start your podcast. We're sponsored by The Fridge. Stop into The Fridge whenever you're in Manhattan and support your great local liquor store right there at the corner of this and that in the town in which we live. I'm not messing around. I want to get busy here. Ooh, let's go to your questions from Wabash Station. Who's got them?
I'll take them again.
Oh, wow. Gills is just driving the ship.
Wow. For sure.
Here's Captain Gilbert.
First question. I Like Pickles' cat's cousin is getting married, and he just got wind that his wedding is in October 2nd, approximately, 1.5 hours from Manhattan.
No. You just completely screwed that question up.
It's fine.
Approximately 1.5 hours from Manhattan.
His wedding is October 2nd, approximately an hour and a half from Manhattan.
Okay, so game day,
Rank these options. Are we clear on the whole?
Yes.
On the whole wedding? Are we sure?
Okay, but I'm not clear on something. So this is I Like Pickles' cat. His cousin.
His
cousin is getting married.
No, his cat's getting married.
So is this guy's name I Like Cucumber's cat? Because it's his cousin to the Pickles? I'm not sure. Let's move on. Okay.
Move on without answering the question.
No, let's move on to the options here. What are our options?
He's got a plethora of options. First one, root for an 11 a.m. kickoff and try to catch as much of the game as possible before leaving and listen to the rest. Record the game, avoid the internet all day, and watch the recording when I get home. Watch as much as possible on my phone, and if we win, duck out immediately after the meal for Aggieville. Fake an illness and wear a mask, sunglasses, and hat in case I get put on TV or other.
Yeah, I think you need to fake the illness. Or just straight up say, you scheduled your wedding on a college football Saturday. You know that I'm busy, and you disrespected me and my time, and then you decline on your RSVP. I get that they're family.
Look.
But
that's my point. Point to the stadium name. I'm in this family too.
Well, I have a question for Pickles. How close is he to his cousin?
That's valid.
Because
obviously not that close because you're talking about not being in the wedding. If you're going to be faking things and with the disguise, you're obviously not a groomsman, an usher, or even the flower guy, which is a trend I fully endorse, the fully grown flower man. Pickles, my advice as a total scumbag, and I think we all recognize that. And again, I apologize if I've ever been a scumbag to you in any way at any time. I've ever made you mad because I was friendly to other people and not you. I truly apologize.
Thank you. Pickles accidentally blocked your parking spot?
Yes, but thought about it, and I tried to shoot him in the parking lot. I don't remember doing that, but I possibly did. I don't know where it's going with this at this point, but I think you should just lie to your family. That's how I would handle it. I don't feel well. I'm going to the stadium. If you're not really close to this cousin, put in the minimum. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't get married in the fall if you've got football fans in your family. Period. End of story.
If we want to rank these options, I think the worst one is to record the game, avoid the internet all day, and watch the recording. Because you're going to be stressing the whole time about the game. The internet is going to be all around you. You're going to have people at the wedding who most likely will be watching the game, and it'll be ruined for you. So definitely don't do that.
Right.
I wouldn't really want to root for an 11 a.m. kickoff because the fun in football games is at the end. So you're going to sit there, watch the game for a half, get dressed, and be like, crap, well, now I have to leave. So, no, you don't want to do that. And you don't want to be sitting in the church with your AirPods in listening to Stan and Wyatt. I mean, as much as I liked him, could you imagine doing that? I would just feel wrong.
I wouldn't.
You're a monster.
I do think the illness is the best way to go, but that and watching on your phone is probably the second best option.
I get that my take is very hard line, but also because I work. I mean, like, this is I can't take a weekend off,
right?
Especially for a wedding. Like, it's one thing if it's like your brother or sister's wedding, but even then, they know better. You know, they would know better. Hey, I can't pull that off. You know, this is my job. I work 13 Saturdays a year in the fall. So I say, you know, it doesn't matter who you are. I'm not coming to your wedding, even on a bye week. That's my weekend off. I'm gonna go do something else.
I agree.
It's just fall weddings are dumb, but that's because of my job.
This is my thought on this. If you're a person that thinks, well, we're going to schedule our wedding in the fall and screw you if you don't come, you're a really selfish person. I mean, it's almost like saying, hey, we're going to have a destination wedding in Cancun or Maui, and if you don't come, I'm going to be upset with you. Well, I mean, it doesn't work for all people. Plus, Gills could never get a passport.
Passport to Hawaii.
To Hawaii?
Britt killed a guy.
I don't know. Pickles, I'm not going to endorse lying to your family, but I just lied to you.
You know what college football move weddings should do more of? Do it on Thursday night.
Have the Thursday night kick?
Thursday night kick for a wedding, especially in the fall. Come on, man. Don't do it on a weekend. Come on, put it on prime time on a Thursday. Get it over with.
What's that
Have your weekend.
Early fall holiday? Labor Day? No, what is that?
That's in September. Yeah.
Yeah. There should be more of that. You get Monday off. Have it on Sunday. I know it conflicts with the NFL, but
I think Sunday weddings are weird because you go to church and then you got more church, or you go to a vineyard somewhere. I mean, one event per day, please.
Okay, that's some science right there.
No. Next question comes from Cole Carmody, 52.
What?
Who's that?
Really? Who is that?
Does Bob Alamo have a cousin named Roger Gettysburg? Gills, what is your favorite story when it comes to history? Fitz, which is more interesting, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, or Vietnam? And lastly, Zach, if you could pick one historical moment to be a fly on the wall, where would you put yourself?
Zach, why don't you go with that? Probably not near my dog.
Yeah.
If you were a fly, would you want to fly around the studio while we're trying to record and know that
like leap the last couple weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where I'd want to be. Maybe somewhere in the White House, like in the Situation Room for like the Osama bin Laden raid. That'd be fun to watch in on.
What about the nuclear when the nuclear bomb decision?
So, like important decisions in history. Like if you had to be in a room and someone makes a call for something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well,
am I up?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to use the term favorite for my answer because nothing of what I'm about to say was good, but I'd say more fascinating stuff that I enjoy would be World War II, the stock market crash, and then 9/11. I think those are really interesting to look at. Mm-hmm. So I don't definitely not favorite, but I think that they're fun to.
The stock market crash or the Great Depression, because I mean,
that's
two very similar things.
Sure, yeah.
one led to another.
Right.
Yeah. It's crazy how that happened.
Cool.
Well, I didn't. Cole Convery 52.
He didn't ask himself a question.
Ask himself a question, but
Well, the Alamo one was for you then, I guess.
yeah, no. Does Bob Alamo have a cousin named Roger Gettysburg? I will say no, that he doesn't.
But you made it up.
I know. I was. That was my attempt at humor. Hopefully, we got a few chuckles.
Fitz will let him in.
Yeah, what's Fitz's favorite war of the wars listed?
It's actually a really interesting question. Because what fascinates me about wars is not typically the war itself. I mean, maybe the chess moves of the different battles and what they lead to. So I find the Civil War fascinating for American political reasons. And seriously, topics we're still fighting over today, we're still disagreeing over. But World War II is more geopolitical. Man, what all came out of that? It's amazing now, if you look at a pre-World War II map of the Middle East and Africa, I mean, the whole world changed after that. They divided up a continent based on colonies of Europeans. It's crazy. But to think of all the layers that come out of World War II is absolutely fascinating. The creation of Israel, all of these different things, and the lessons we learned from an actual fascist movement in Germany, offset by a communist country. I mean, literally, we had battles fought by two bad guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. And how close in some ways what the government was doing in Germany was to communism. I mean, they were reallocating resources to the people on an even basis for the most part. And yet how much they hated each other,
right?
How much they found their differences. And I think that is a great lesson in life. And I've said this over and over. The greatest flaw of humanity is we seek our differences. Race, politics, religion, nationality, tribes. We find those reasons for conflict and we work on them. And we're working on them now domestically with politics. We're really, at each other's throats quite a bit. But the way that all fell into place in Europe is just amazing to me. And the fallout post-war after the German loss, Eastern Europe goes to communism. It's forced to go to communism. It's crazy. The whole thing's so fascinating.
It doesn't make any sense why Russia, or I guess at the time Soviet Union and Germany, thought that they could team up together. I mean, could you imagine today two bad guys teaming up together and then being surprised that it didn't work out? I mean, to me, that's interesting in and of itself. Would you really think that Hitler and Stalin trusted each other? I mean, It's like, well, then why would you make an agreement with somebody you don't trust?
It's just it amazes me. Thank goodness Hitler broke that, because essentially what the agreement was is we're going to attack Western Europe and you're going to sit this one out. And the Soviet Union was like, fine, we'll just sneak in the back way and steal things afterwards. But then Hitler attacked them. So I got a headline out of this. Hitler wasn't very bright.
You're so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
He was a con man, but he wasn't very bright. I've learned from TikTok that a British soldier saved his life in World War I. That a wounded Adolf Hitler was wandering across the field, and instead of shooting him, he wandered into enemy lines. They gave him aid and saved Hitler's life.
Could you imagine if he would have gotten shot? You talk about the butterfly effect.
Huge. And what's amazing about that is how many other times has those things happened, but we don't know it. Mm-hmm. I'm fascinated by science fiction. If you could time travel and you went back and killed Hitler, what would the world be like?
What if Franz Ferdinand doesn't get shot and they get the message to the assassin that they had called off the wanted assassination attempt of Franz Ferdinand? What would have happened?
What about the Russian nuclear thing where they were under attack, or the alarms were going off, they were under attack, or a missile was imminent and didn't do anything, but he was authorized.
You lit the fuse, I stand
crazy.
Could have started a nuclear war.
Gills, do you know what we're talking about?
We're talking about stuff.
Okay.
World War I, right?
Stuff and
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
There we go.
I actually graduated high school
World
and
War
college,
I,
but
I mean, you're right, Cole. Without World War I, the whole underpinnings of why Hitler came to power disappear. It's crazy.
That's why the World War I Museum in Kansas City is just
It's amazing.
I went there.
If you haven't gone to it, you are missing one of the great gifts of Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
World War
so
I.
one or two.
One is in Kansas City.
No, I'm just asking in general. What do you guys think is more interesting?
I think two's more interesting because the United States was more directly involved.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we entered World War I, but it was really kind of late, and the reason we entered was not as dramatic as Pearl Harbor.
Right. I think World War I is interesting because of how just awful the conditions were. Like, sure, World War II was terrible. Like, I would not want to have to go to Germany. I would not, or on the Eastern Front, I would not want to have to go in the Pacific to try and fight, Japan. But I would hate to be in the trenches and
Mustard gas.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
trench foot that they would get,
right?
Because they're in mud for months.
That's the one thing I remember from high school history.
Same
Trench foot.
Yep.
Nasty. It's just the whole thing's nasty.
From King Jim 77, lightning round. Name your top 5 breakfast cereals.
None.
What? Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I don't eat breakfast cereal.
Captain Crunch. I eat Special K, actually a lot. And I try to be healthy.
70 years old.
Yes.
How are your bowel movements, Francis? Are they solid or are they running?
That was a new voice.
Frosted wheat.
Those are nasty.
No, I love it. And then my 5th one will go with Reese's Puffs.
I'm sorry, what?
Did you hear what he said, Zach?
Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs.
Okay, from when I was a kid, Frosted Flakes, Raisin Bran.
Oh.
Lots of sugar, though. Fruit Loops.
Oh, yeah.
I really can't think of any other ones I ate. Rice Krispies, some, but again with sugar.
Oh boy, hold on.
Count Chocula. I don't remember ever eating that, though.
I couldn't tell you any time in my life where I ate cereal from a bowl with a spoon with milk in it. Because I don't like milk. Milk is disgusting.
You gotta try almond milk. That's what I eat.
No.
No,
Yeah, I don't like
literally
milk either. I'm with you.
I don't
Milk
like
is
milk.
tastes so much
disgusting.
different.
How do 3 of us not like milk?
4.
That's crazy.
4.
You don't like milk?
I hate cow milk. I hate it.
I think that milk, whoever the dairy industry bribed 100 years ago or whatever to get into schools and to be the drink of choice in schools.
Yeah.
That's what I want to go back in history for and change and see. I want to see that decision.
Well, there's nothing natural about milk.
How is milk the prominent drink of choice in schools? It is insane. It's disgusting. Oh, it's got calcium in it. So what? So what?
It'll make your bones strong.
I didn't drink milk and my bones are fine. I also took HGH as a kid and my bones are fine. But I didn't drink milk.
I despise milk. I mean, I'll eat it on cereal or something, but no, if it doesn't have chocolate in it, I'm not drinking it.
Those
But
people who
again,
drink milk are
Even
psychos.
chocolate milk, it's like
I don't like
I don't
milk
want it.
out of a carton, out of anything. But here's a little tip in life: it's kind of like going to a bar. If you don't like beer, the bar frowns on you going right to the tap and drinking out of it. Don't drink out of the tap with milk. That's just weird. The cows really get touchy about that.
well, because it's not even processed. Milk, as we know it, is extremely processed.
Right.
It's called pasteurization.
Yep.
Well, not even that. I mean, it's more.
You know who invented pasteurization?
Louis Pasteur.
Is his name Louis?
Yep.
Okay.
Louis. You also wrote that song. Oh, I gotta go now. Next question, please.
I hope we don't have to have the debate over cartoons and animes and sitcoms, but animated comedies.
King Jim is on my side.
SpongeBob.
Is that an animated comedy, though?
What do you mean?
Do you not remember this debate we had?
Between
was-
cartoons and animation?
Yeah.
No. It was, yeah.
What's I don't even know how to answer that.
The Roadrunner and Bugs Bunny, those are cartoons, and The Simpsons are animation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Simpsons
Bugs Bunny is animated.
2D. Simpsons is the same as Roadrunner. It's written. It's drawn out scene by scene.
King Jim, the answer to your question will be The Simpsons, Family Guy, the Cleveland Show. Give me Big Mouth, and then I'm trying to think what else. I don't know. I feel like that's about all that I watch. I'll say South Park.
I'll put Family Guy in there. I don't really watch it that much, but I'll put Family Guy up there, and yeah, that's about it. SpongeBob, Family Guy.
I think probably
Simpsons probably deserves to be there, but I don't really watch it or care.
I mean, I've seen a lot of parts of The Simpsons, but I don't ever remember really sitting down and watching The Simpsons.
Oh, I love watching The Simpsons.
The Simpsons movie was good.
I did watch King of the Hill.
Oh, that was a good show, too.
And I think we, as an older guy, need to put in a vote for Beavis and Butthead.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea what that is.
Okay,
what?
Good. You kind of look like one of them.
I am Cornholio.
Is that good? Bad?
I like how none of us said any like the Adult Swim.
South Park.
No, it's not Adult Swim.
Yeah, it's on. I'm pretty sure it's on Adult Swim though now.
I mean, they might put it on there, but like I'm talking like Futurama, and Rick and Morty, and
people love Rick and Morty.
Types of shows.
We use a lot of BoJack in this show. A lot of BoJack is in our sound effects.
Mm-hmm.
I parked in a handicap spot. I hope that's okay.
You parked in
disabled spot. Is that the proper nomenclature?
Maybe you should move the car.
No, I don't think I should drive right now. I'm incredibly drunk.
Pizza toppings.
This is an important topic.
I'm a cheese guy, but I'll eat pepperoni. But that's how do you have 5 pizza toppings that you like? That's just crazy.
This surprises
chicken
me.
Alfredo.
You seem like someone who would get so pissed off at someone for liking plain cheese pizza.
No. And the people that diss on cheese pizza are lame because it's the basis of everything. Like that's why Dave Portnoy at Barstool, he just does cheese because cheese pizza, that's just the base of pizza. That's all that matters. It's the minimum you can do to create a pizza. If you put other stuff on it, great. But at the end of the day, what makes it a pizza? The crust, the cheese, the sauce.
So Zach Carlson, basic pizza bitch.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that you guys are going to kill me for saying pineapple and ham.
Oh, you go.
I don't really care either way. I think it's a silly pizza topping, but at the same time, I don't think it's not a pizza topping.
But buffalo chicken. I love buffalo chicken pizza.
I think we've reached a stage in society where you can put anything on a pizza and sell it because I've been to AJ's before.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had salmon on pizza?
No, I've never actually heard of it.
Excuse me.
Do you enjoy salmon on pizza?
I don't know. I just thought of it.
I've never heard of salmon being on it. But then again, is salmon better than anchovy? I'd rather eat salmon than anchovies. Right? And anchovies is a proper pizza topping.
Speaking of 5 toppings, here is the perfect pizza order. Italian sausage, a little spice there.
Of course.
Italian.
Of course.
A little pepperoni, a little mushroom, and a little onion. That's the perfect pizza toppings. And extra cheese if you want to go for 6 toppings.
Do you go barbecue sauce on that?
I will do barbecue sauce once in a while, just to kind of break the rhythm and do barbecue chicken with mushrooms and bacon and onion. It's a pretty good pie right there.
I will say I like...
Italian.
Yeah, like I feel like my pizza toppings, they depend on the base sauce. Like mac and cheese pizza, great.
Yeah.
No red sauce on it. Like that's not.
No.
You know, like I think saying something is a pizza topping, it's a pizza type almost. Because like a supreme pizza, you know, that's got a whole bunch of toppings on it. That's not one topping.
Philly cheesesteak pizza, have you ever had that? That is really good.
Sounds good.
What kind of cheese do they use? Do they use Cheese Whiz or do they use
normal cheese?
Provolone or something?
You can customize it. I get it at Domino's, and it's green peppers, steak, and mushroom.
Ooh, I don't like peppers and mushrooms.
I'm allergic to green peppers.
Yeah. It's good though.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
I don't want to talk about it. And that's the guy that talks about peeing his pants. I don't want to talk about it.
Last but not least, 80s songs.
That one's for Fitz.
I'm just supposed to pull up 80 songs in my head?
Yeah, what are your top 5 80 songs?
Top 5 80 songs with Fitz. Number 1, Take On Me by A-ha. I don't know. It's just so... you got the high school 80s, which was like Loverboy and, that kind of candy rock crap in the early 80s. Then you got the college phase of The Cure. You got some metal in there. It's just Asia was one of my favorite groups that now I'm like, why did I listen to this? I listened to a lot of U2, and now I'm really not into U2. So it's funny how your musical taste change.
I will say The Message, Grandmaster Flash, one of the best rap songs in the history of the world.
What year is that from?
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
That might be is it late 70s?
Oh, no.
I don't think so. I think it's late 80s.
No, The Message is an 80s song. Let me look it up.
I'll go Danger Zone. That's an 80s song, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Danger Zone.
Yeah.
The Message.
I'm more about groups. I still enjoy Journey, REO, Styx. That was kind of my genre through high school, early college, and then I moved into more alternative.
1982.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
And then what about Fight for Your Right?
Yeah, I wasn't really.
The Beastie Boys.
I was into the.
If you were not a Chiefs fan, would you know that song?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know that song. It's just not my thing.
What about Planet Rock by Africa Bambaataa?
I don't know.
Never heard of that.
Never heard of it.
Okay, well, I will say that again. We talked about music last week. The City Girls did you might recognize the trend on TikTok, the Torculator. Have you seen that trend on TikTok?
I've heard the song, yeah.
Okay, well, it samples Planet Rock from Africa Bambaataa, which is like he was one of the first main like MCs of hip hop in New York. So there you go. I know this because I watched this documentary on Netflix. It's called like The Origins of Hip Hop, and it's pretty interesting. So the more you know.
And I think we can all agree that another great 80s song is Africa by Toto.
Mm-hmm.
Good song to close a bar with.
When did the song Closing Time come out?
That was 90s, wasn't it?
I think so. It's the worst song. Yeah. The worst song.
The memories are terrible.
I hate it. And the people that love it are lame.
1998.
I can just hear the bartenders yelling at you to get the heck.
Get out. Yeah. You're done.
Close your tabs.
You're done.
Bartenders, get out.
That's one of my least favorite things bars do. Hey, you just spent $100 in my bar. I'm not going to thank you for coming out tonight. I'm going to tell you to get the out and scream it in your face like I just took a crap on the bar. No, I just spent a bunch of money and tipped you really well. Now you're telling me to get the blank out.
The humans will be right back.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Selling a little or a lot?
Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage, to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's here to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 15% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the US. And Shopify is the global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning 24/7 help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow, grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Odyssey Podcast.
The ads are done. Speak Humans.
From DPT Cat, if you could go back up to 10 years and change one thing you did or didn't do, what would that be?
You know what's amazing about this question as an old person? That's not back very far. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about it. 10 years ago, Bill Snyder had been back for a few years.
Your life's been pretty much the same.
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't changed. And over a course of 10 years, we haven't changed much going on. You go back 20 or 30 years, yeah, I can come up with some stuff. I don't know about 10 years.
10 years puts me back to summer after high school. So going to college, going to Oklahoma State, maybe joining a frat at Oklahoma State and seeing if that changes my course. Like, do I stay at Oklahoma State, make more friends or whatever else? And I don't know.
It is
like it's one of those things where I could change the course of my life kind of thing, but I don't know. I don't really dwell on it that much.
This question's interesting because Lon Kruger and I got into this in our podcast. He talked about he almost went in. He was an outstanding baseball player and had an opportunity to go into minor league baseball, never play college basketball, and he wouldn't have met his wife Barb at Kansas State. And everything about your life changes. Becky almost went to Oklahoma State. She's from Wellington. It's closer to Kansas State. She almost went to school there. I would have never met her. That would have worked out great for her. I've talked about this in the early 90s. I almost got a job in Portland, Maine to be a sports columnist there and cover Boston sports for him. And that fell through for just weird reasons. Well, union reasons. They were going to have layoffs, so they didn't want to bring someone in. But if that had gone through, where would I be now? I wouldn't be here. You guys wouldn't know me. I wouldn't have these dogs, this house, and everything changes at that point.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about these things.
I was going to say, when I was 10 years ago, I was 12 years old. And one thing I would change was probably the girl who I kissed for the first time. Because she's now a mom.
Well, that happens.
Wait, that's why? Like, I kissed her and now she's a mom. Gross.
No.
Cooties.
What's that TV show?
Or is it because...
Is it The Father?
Maury?
Should be on there, yeah.
I can assure you I should not be on that show.
3 years ago, I heard my daughter tell her friends she slept with my husband. Since that day, I have been in complete and utter hell. Now, I'm constantly hearing rumors that they're still sleeping together. I even heard she might be pregnant by my husband.
What do you mean you should not be? But it seems like there's some doubt in there. I shouldn't be on that show.
Not with this particular.
So do you regret
individual
kissing her because she's now married?
No, she's not married.
Did I miss something there?
Where's the regret?
I don't understand what the regret is.
You know how
was she not as attractive at the time as what you would have liked?
No, it didn't have anything to do with that.
Well, then that's all you need.
The reputation.
So you were number one, and
it turns out she was just giving away the things for free.
She was, yes.
Okay.
You do what you want to do, but I'm going to that party. My life isn't over. It's just beginning. So if you don't want to run with the wild horses, then go back to the barn and go to bed.
Loose lips. Well, I'm not going to say that.
So that's your answer? You wouldn't change? You would change not kissing?
Well, if we're going strictly 10 years ago, then sure. But if we want to say anything within the last 10 years, I would change a lot of things.
Do you remember your first kiss?
Not really.
I don't either. I don't have a clue who it was.
Maybe I wasn't 10. Or maybe I wasn't 12. Maybe I was like 13. Oh, no, it might have been. It was in middle school.
My wife listens to the podcast. My first kiss was with Becky.
I hope my mom's not listening to this. I don't think she knows this. Huh. She doesn't listen to anything anyways.
Did you share a toilet with her? Because that might be how she got pregnant.
Is that how that works?
I think so. I don't know. I've never had children, so I'm not sure how it works.
Something like that.
From...
You can do this.
Exhausted Nihilist, sorry. Let's hear some apologies. I apologize to the junior high girls basketball coach whose VHS camcorder I broke while filming a game. That's what you get for using student, a.k.a. slave, labor.
Wow. So he apologized and then took a shot at him. Nihilist, I think we need to talk about the apologies and how they work.
I picked this question, but I don't have any good apologies that I can think of off the top of my head. I haven't even thought about it really that much.
Trying to think.
Oh, I got a good one. Never mind. I got a good one. When I was a child, my sister was a biter, and like she'd bite.
You hear that, Cole?
What'd you say?
Cole's into that stuff.
You definitely have to cut that.
I'm not cutting that.
Glad we get to learn what Cole likes, but we're talking about children here. Anyway, my sister, she'd bite and she'd leave bruises. Well, one time I was mad at her for something, so I bit myself and started crying, and then she got in trouble for it. So she got, for whatever reason, I didn't want her around at that particular time. So I bit myself on the arm, started crying. And then
framed her?
Framed her. It was the greatest heist I think I'd ever done to a sibling.
Don't apologize for that. That's great.
Sorry to my sister, but I was amazing.
So when I was, I want to say 9 years old, maybe. I don't remember. It was when my parents, my mom and stepdad were moving into our new house. And we had purchased the house, and they were still building it. And we went up there and looked around. And I had to really go to the bathroom. And I'm talking emergency.
You ate some peppers.
Oh, I understand the story.
Okay. And the house was still being built. Well, the toilet was operational.
Oh, no.
The water was running, I think. But there was no toilet paper. But I had a little pocket full of tissues, sneeze tissues.
Yeah.
And I
clogged up the toilet.
Had to do what I had to do. And yes, the toilet was clogged. And we didn't know why. My mom couldn't figure it out. So when they went back 3 days later, it was still there. And
Gross.
She blamed the construction workers.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, those nasty sons of...
At 9. I'm glad you said that. Gils,
yes.
You got anything?
Man, I wish I did. I think if you can't think of something, then you don't have an answer. Well, that didn't make sense. If something doesn't immediately pop into your head, then it's not good enough to tell,
I also want to apologize to you, Gils.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry that you have to live with the person you have to live with next year.
I feel like this is a good...
I would like to apologize.
I'm just going to apologize in advance.
This person I know named Cole for who he has to live with next year.
I feel like this is a good spot to put in the Conor McGregor apologies. I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely no one.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants. Let me raise this.
I'm going to say this publicly now. and I'm hoping my sister is not listening to this. When we were children, we fought a lot. We just tried to irritate each other, and she was really good at it. And one day in our house, I picked up an ashtray. Back in the day when you had those scattered around your house because you grew up with smokers. This ashtray was made of copper, had a little weight to it, and I threw it at her head. So I'd like to apologize for doing that, Amy, and missing. I'm sorry I missed. You had it coming! You had it coming! Don't push Big Daddy's buttons!
You call yourself Big Daddy?
I just did. Can we move on?
Sure. Given the Fritz debacle from this last week, what epic errors have you committed or observed that spun out from a simple misunderstanding?
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this Fritz debacle first? Well, is this guy being a troll? Or is he actually think your name is Fritz?
No, I thought it was.
I'm not sure.
I don't think it was. I don't think that he meant to get dunked on by everybody. Like, goodness, like everybody was just dunking on him. Like, I didn't read it as him being all totally upset at Fitz.
Okay, so
I think it was just a funny story.
There's some history here that people would call me Fritz, and it kind of became a joke. It doesn't bother me. It bothers other people, but there's some people out there that trolled me that think it bothers me. Call me Fritz. I'm like, well, you're the idiot. You don't know my name. It's right there in my Twitter handle and everything. It didn't. So I think a lot of people are interpreting he did that on purpose to troll me, call me Fritz.
But it was his first post. That's what makes me think that maybe he thinks we're calling you Fritz.
I don't know. He paid us money. That's all I see. I don't think he was.
Well,
I didn't read it.
The fact they never responded to my questions make me think it was.
Yeah, very could have been.
I mean, the fact I simply asked, when was this? What was I driving? I feel like there was another layer to this story. I don't ever remember someone being in my parking spot. I remember people blocking access to the road. That drives me crazy in the parking lot when people just walk right down the middle of a driving access instead of getting to the right or left. That drives me insane about the parking lot at K-State. Move aside. There's people behind you. Or if you're tailgating and someone's trying to come up your aisle and you're totally oblivious to it and you're standing inside the white lines, I guess it'd be, that drives me crazy. Just move. And so I can see me getting upset over that. Just move. I'm trying to. If it was a long time ago, I would go from other things and come into the parking lot and be late, or I don't know. It sounds like it's more recent.
Could he have been referring to Fritch? Maybe talking about D. Scott?
No, because we
I can
always
see where the mix-up comes in, though.
Well, I guess no, we wouldn't drive with him, would we?
No, he was so separately. I don't know.
He would go early enough, and he always got a better parking spot than any of us, and he'd have just complete straight access in. I don't think he had a problem.
I don't know.
I definitely remember giving a "What are you doing?" hand signal, to people.
Absolutely.
That's
You're
like
in a parking lot, and then people are just like they're drunk and they're oblivious to anything else.
It's like people are so oblivious. It doesn't make any sense.
That might be my favorite thread since I've been paying attention.
Funny.
Yeah.
Should that be a nice segue into the next question?
Yeah, sure.
From ContraCat once again, can you share some insights about the two sources thread at a previous site that the board referenced this week?
I don't even remember I remember the thread, but I don't remember.
It was something Brent Venables related, that he was going to be the next head coach at K-State or something. And
was this
whoever the person had
Kleiman
two sources? No, this was
Bill Snyder.
This was back when
Ron Prince.
No, Bill was still around, and this is like probably 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. It was like a year-long thread, and maybe even longer than that, probably like 2 years or something, but it was dozens, if not hundreds of pages long, and it was just a long thread, basically, where the guy was like, I have it on two sources that Brent Venables is going to be the next head coach, and that's basically the premise of the thread. Spun out of control. I think, like Riley mentioned, it became a lot of GIFs
and boobs.
Not
bare boobs. We don't allow that.
No, that was not allowed. But That is what the thread became. And then at some point, we locked it because it was completely out of hand. But then I'm pretty sure I suggested it because we're all sitting there ready to make the switch over to 24/7. And I'm like, because we're still working, like we're working, we're trying to sort everything out. We got like 4 hours left. I'm like, hey, because I didn't have admin access on the message boards for whatever reason. And I never posted. I might have posted once that night, and it was probably in that thread and it got deleted. Oh, we unlocked a different thread, or we bumped another thread. It was the Katie Johnson appreciation thread, which was really creepy, but went ahead and bumped that night too. But yeah, it got unlocked, and that was our parting gift.
Great story.
Actually, our parting gift was Robert's words.
Oh, yeah.
Please explain.
Well, it was right before the start of the season.
Yeah.
And he had given me his annual Robert's Words, which I've stopped doing. It was his thoughts on the upcoming season and his tailgating schedule. And I posted that. It's the last story we posted at Rivals. And they took it down, which I thought was in bad taste, actually. I mean, it's Robert. It's freaking Robert, but it was a joke. So I guess I can see why they did it. But what's weird about when you switch networks is now if you go back in the history, if you search something I wrote way back in 2015 and it comes up, it says Tim Fitzgerald, Kansas State Online. It just changes all that over in the coding.
Last question comes from Contra Cat. What conference football and basketball players seemingly had an endless eligibility and seemed to stick around forever?
Keaton Page, Oklahoma State.
I was going to say that.
Because he had another dude that came after him. I don't even remember what his name was.
Phil Forte?
Yep. Yes, Phil Forte was around. But then Keaton Page is on the bench sitting there, and I think he's still on staff. He just never went away.
No.
Keaton Page.
Perry Ellis is the correct answer, though. I'm sorry to break that to you.
Kind of.
Or what's that? Brady Manick. He's transferred, but I swear when he was a freshman, I thought he was a senior.
He transferred?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Mitch Lightfoot a little bit now, I think.
Where did he go? He ended up at a good school. Florida? So I don't know.
That's a good question.
What about Todd Reesing?
I don't really remember that one as long. I remember him playing for like a year when they were good,
Yeah, Will Spradlin, I think, is an answer for this too. I mean, he started for 4 years, didn't he?
Manick went to North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Good for him.
Skylar Thompson is officially there. Skylar Thompson is there because he truly has been there for forever. 2016.
You know who seems like been around forever is that Tom Brady guy.
Yeah.
Is he still in college? I don't know who he is.
Javon Carter from West Virginia.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because he looks like he's 50 years old.
That's kind of the combination you need. They play as a true freshman, they play all the way through their senior, and they look old. That is Perry Ellis.
He was...
The heck was that?
It was my phone. I dropped it.
Okay.
Javon Carter's been bald since his senior year of high school.
Finus Atchison, if we're going to go K-State. I think he only played for 2 years, but that was an old-looking dude.
What about Brady Morningstar?
At least I remember him.
How old was he when he played as a senior?
I'm not sure. I remember
22 or 23, probably.
I could have sworn he was a lot
I remember
older.
his dad playing at KU, Roger Morningstar.
Huh, I didn't know that.
It felt like Steve Mikhailuk was at KU for a long time. I know he was only there for 3 years, but it just felt like he was there.
Least favorite KU player. Can we go? Mine's Svi.
Really?
Yep.
Svi? Least favorite KU player.
Christian Brown.
Kirk Heinrich.
Mitch Lightfoot. Christian Brown. Either one of those two. For me.
Mitch Lightfoot's a good dude.
I
met him on a hike. He was super cool.
I didn't mind Nick Collison.
My favorite is Paul Pierce. I loved his game in college.
Paul Pierce is good.
What do you think Paul Pierce is doing right now? Do you think he's partying with people and getting fired from his desk job?
I hope so. Least favorite, I'd probably have to go back to like Greg Ostertag. That's way long ago. Or, I can't think of his last name right now. Donnie Von. Some of the old farts got to help me out. Donnie Von Moore.
What about someone that maybe me or Cole would know?
Yeah.
Wait, you guys don't know Nick Collison or
I know Nick
Kirk
Collison.
Heinrich?
Yeah, I know those guys.
Heinrich. I don't know this Collison guy.
Oh, he played for the Thunder for a long time, too.
That's probably why I didn't mind Nick Collison.
Yeah.
Because he played for the Thunder. Who else? Oh, no. Who's the tooth dude? And he went to the Thunder, too, and I hated him. Oh.
Tooth dude.
He had his tooth knocked out. You guys listening know who I'm talking about. You're going to find out here in like 30 seconds. We're going to figure it out. Big center.
Drew Gooden.
No, not Drew Gooden.
Cole Aldrich.
Cole Aldrich. That's the one.
His free throw was like, he would like go down and then like shoot it behind his head like that.
Yep. Cole Aldrich is my least favorite.
Shaka Khan.
Yeah, that's fine. Cole Aldrich. Get rid of him.
Who was that guy that went viral for KU who was like on the bench eating cereal?
Probably Tyler Self. Tyler Self was on the team for forever. Let's be real. He's probably still on the team in his 12th year of eligibility.
But he's got the greatest highlight reel in the history of college sports. That thing was hysterical. Have you ever seen that?
No.
He had like a layup, and he played it. Here's my highlight reel, and it was over and over. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny. That's it for the PowerCat Overtime Podcast. Hope you had a little fun, a little smile on your face as you head into the weekend. Don't do anything strange. Don't do anything you regret. And if you do, in 10 years, go ahead and apologize.
Thank you for listening to the PowerCat Podcast. Make sure you're subscribing to our show at Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. PowerCat Podcast. All rights reserved. GoPowerCat.com.
Get in on the action with the world's largest sports book, right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa is where the pros play. Enjoy the highest limits, lowest takeouts, competitive betting menus, and the best customer service. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Iowa. Circa Sports Iowa. Sports betting the way it should be. Download your new bookie today. Visit circasports.com for details.